Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to Health Tech Academy's podcast. My name is Danish, and I'm joined yet again by Shamsah and Noorani. And today we are going to talk about what the employers are looking for from our side and what we are doing to help them with all the challenges that they face. So I think let's just jump straight in.
Let's dive in.
So, what do you think is the biggest challenge that the employers currently face when they're looking for healthcare professionals?
I think the biggest challenge is from an employer, or I would say a hiring manager or a HR recruiter and HR professional standpoint, is how do I get all these positions filled?
Hmm.
That's the biggest challenge. And then comes the next challenge of finding the qualified candidates in order to fulfill these positions.
Yeah.
So let me dive into that a lot more. Is when positions are getting filled or they become open, there's a very different range of the type of position within healthcare system. Some of them could be permanent positions, full-time. Some of them, these could be part-time contract positions. Some of these could be per diem positions. So each one requires a set of job descriptions and skill set evaluations, and making sure that the candidate really understands what their position is going to be and setting those expectations. And that just requires a lot of time, energy, and focus on behalf of the hiring manager as well as the HR professional. So I think the biggest challenge is, how do I get all these positions filled, and where do I find the time in order to fulfill all these positions? So keeping those two aspects in mind, when a position does get posted, there could be a lot of interest in terms of applications, but within that, there could also be a lack of qualified students. So when there's too much noise, even the individuals that are qualified or candidates that are qualified may get missed. So that's where our platform comes in. So by leveraging AI, we've been able to identify the skills that are needed for these different various positions, be it medical assistant, dental assistant, surgical tech, sterile processing, and really providing the top 2 or top 3 candidates that are qualified based on the position and the skills of and the demands of that particular position.
So what is this? So this platform is basically helping the employers find the right talent, and it would expedite that process because usually it is very much time taking. Is that the focus?
That's one of the focuses. Absolutely. The second focus is to provide the students or individuals that are interested in moving into particular roles. And then there might be a gap in terms of skills.
Right.
So really giving them the opportunity to finding what those skills gaps are and then getting trained up for those skills.
Makes sense. So when think of myself as an HR manager and I'm looking to hire somebody for a search tech role, let's say, how would I use the platform?
If you are the hiring manager, you could log in, and then when you log into our dashboard, and you can post a role. When you post a role, the system's going to ask you a series of what we refer to as hiring manager intake questions. And again, you could do this one at a time, or you could really leverage the AI to do it. So the AI can write job descriptions for you. It can identify the skills that are needed for that particular position. It can, if there are projects that are needed within the interview process, it can automate that and even provide those examples and build those in. Once all that is done, as the hiring manager, you can post that position and you can have it open internally within your organization, or you could have it posted externally to various different job boards. Once it gets posted, the system will automatically be the repository for all the candidates, and identify in a much more numeric fashion, the top 2 or top 3 qualified candidates based on the intake for the hiring manager.
Right.
And then you as the hiring manager can, depending on, again, the type of role, whether it's full-time, part-time, or per diem, you can choose to interview those candidates. Or if it's a matter of a role that requires somebody to come in for a particular shift, the system can also send out a contract. They can use that system to get paid and also be onboarded. So essentially, as the hiring manager, you can just post the position and have somebody show up for a particular role.
Perfect. I think that probably saves a lot of time and also gets you very qualified candidates where the system can vet them on a lot of things that the manager needs.
Absolutely. The entire system is built out on skills that are needed for those particular positions. And like I said, it's ranged from being a 100% fit or identify the skills gap. So if it's particular candidates internally that are using the platform, they can see all the skills that they may or may not have in order to be qualified for that role. And again, from a hiring manager standpoint, it can show the candidate, the proficiency level, as well as ensuring that, whether it's a 50% match, a 90% match, or a 100% match for that particular job.
Perfect. And what about the candidates which are not internal? They are external candidates. They
Right.
come onto the platform, they apply for a role, and they do not get in. Would they get to know about the skills that they did not have because of which they were not able to land the role? And would the platform help them learn those skills? And if that's the case, how would it do it?
Absolutely. So the goal is to make sure that the internal or external candidates understand what skills gaps they have and provide them with a career growth plan. So if it's an external candidate, they will know that they have, let's say, 7 of the 10 skills for that particular role, and whatever those gaps are, the system will propose that in the form of a career growth plan. And then the candidate then has the option to take that particular program. If it is an internal candidate and there are skills gap, the internal candidate can dive right in and take those skills.
So if let's put myself in a shoe of a candidate who is looking for different roles, and I'm confused, which role do I need to apply for? What kind of skill do I have? What kind of skills I do not have? What is the right role for me? Because maybe I'm, starting on in healthcare, or I want to get into some kind of a healthcare
Yeah.
role. Can the system help me do that? Because, if I was talking to a person, I would go to them and I'll talk and tell them that this is what
Sure.
my aims are or my vision is for my life for the next 5 years. Can the system do something of that sort?
So the system has AI coaching built in, and through the AI coach, the candidate can really understand the right career path, the right role, and where they are in terms of skills and skills gap. And with the AI coach, the candidate can learn those skills
Right.
because it's feedback. So you could go back and forth in terms of the loop.
So if you compare the normal job market and how jobs are being posted there, maybe on LinkedIn, maybe on Indeed, etc., how fast can an HR manager post on this platform as compared to all other platforms?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a great question. So we can essentially come in, you can enter the title of the position, and within minutes, we could get that job posting done. The HR manager or the hiring manager does not even need to enter the job description or the skills or identify the projects, etc., because we already have that mapped down.
Right. And do we also have candidates on the platform who are waiting for different roles? So if there is a hiring manager who doesn't have enough time to, take the job post and post it on other platform using our platform's link, would we have candidates already waiting for the external candidates already waiting for different roles that can just look at it, get a notification, and then can apply for a role?
Absolutely. We have candidates all over the country that have already created their profile and are available on our on our app,
Oh, wow.
and they can go ahead and apply within minutes. So you can identify the right person for your role. Like I said, it's all so fast.
I think I've asked a lot of questions about the hiring manager, but one last thing that you would like to share with the healthcare organizations or the employers where you think this tool
Yeah.
can really be a change maker for them, to help them understand what kind of candidates they're getting, and how helpful this tool can be for them.
Yeah, I definitely want to touch on the reporting aspect of the platform. So we have obviously the dashboards for the hiring managers, but we also have reporting that really identifies how many jobs were posted, how many candidates came across each of those job postings, how many went through all the different stages,
Right.
be it all the way from going through skills identification or projects and completing those projects, and how many provided. Sometimes there are video feedbacks that also are being funneled in. So the entire process is very, very clearly available in our platform in the form of a funnel. How many offers were extended, how many were accepted, and how many candidates ended up starting. So I think that kind of data could be pulled into various different platforms and could be really good conversation points for an organization as they make their strategic plans.
Perfect. This is very exciting, and I'm
Yeah.
very excited to see it go live and see how it can help different employers who will be using the platform and then giving us feedback. And I'm sure we will be right at top of all the feedback, and we would like to make as many future changes and enhancements into the product as well.
Absolutely. This is super exciting.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shamsah. Thank you for taking out the time. And thank you so much to everybody who listened in. And if you are an employer and you're thinking about using such a platform, get in touch with us. And if you're a student, I think you'll be able to see a lot of details in the description about how you can use this platform and sign up for it as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. We will be here with another podcast very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.